So S-ratic fishing, riding down the road and see a snapping turtle. I ain't had any turtle sauce piquante in years. I'll take him. Try to get him an ice chest without getting bit. All right. Well, one of the things about Southeast Louisiana is you never know when a meal's going to present itself. So I'm going to dispatch the turtle by chopping its head off. That's the most humane way. If you don't want to see that, fast forward about 20 to 35 seconds. Alright, then I'm going to put it in a bucket to let it bleed. While I got the turtle bleeding the meat out, I'm going to start a big pot of water and I'm going to scald it. See, all the old timers say that the head can still bite when chopped off, and a lot of them say it won't let go till thunder claps. Alright, I got my pot of water, got about 6 inches of water, and it's at a slow rolling boil. I'm going to drop it in there for about 5 minutes to scald it and sterilize everything. Some people like to eat the skin, I don't. I totally clean it off. So, but you can see now that it's boiled, look, you can peel that layer right off it. Alright, so what we do now is we take a sharp knife and we follow this shell. Basically filleting the meat from the shell. So we got all the meat cut around the front portion. We'll go around the back now. Like I said, follow the shell, it's a guideline. Comes out nice and easy. Nice and easy. And then right here on both sides, you want to find that joint between the top and the bottom shell. See how once you find it, it just slips right out. Once you find that joint, the bottom piece just comes right off. Alright, now we got the meat off the bottom. Now we just want to fillet against the shell, just like that. I know it's probably hard to see, but just hold back on the legs and fillet. Every once in a while, give it a little pull. Okay, the tenderloins that run the back are going to be inside a whole nother set of bones. So what we'll do is we'll cut through the turtle, pull it out. See these little yellow balls? That's eggs. That's eggs forming. Now, I don't particularly like them. A lot of people will save them to, there's the bladder right there, I want to get it out. A lot of people like to put those eggs in a gumbo. At this point in time, you can see this membrane for the back half of the turtle. I'll just take and cut that, save all the meat. So there's my whole back half. There's the neck meat. And we can cut all the entrails away now. So here's your whole front quarters, hind quarters, the neck. So if you look inside this shell here, you can see this series of rib bones. That's the tenderloins behind those bones. So what I do is I take and just cut them out. Turtle backstrap, turtle tenderloin. And once you can start to peel it away, take your fillet knife, get in there and get the meat. Turtle backstrap. Do it right, you can do it just like skinning fish. You ever go somewhere and the turtle meat's expensive? That's why. You don't get a good yield, plus It takes some stuff to clean them. So our ingredients today are going to be olive oil, turtle meat, bell pepper, celery, onion, jalapeno, a couple bay leaves, some garlic, rotel tomatoes, whole tomatoes, salt, pepper, Tony's, smoked sausage, flour to dredge the turtle into brown, and then also make a little bit of a roux, some Worcestershire, and some crystal hot sauce. And I like to cook a sauce piquante and a roux in a Dutch oven. Alright, as soon as I cut all my seasoning and everything up, I realized my Dutch oven was too small, so I got a bigger one. First thing I'm going to do is season my flour. A little bit of Tony's, a little bit of black pepper, a little bit of salt. And we're going to brown the turtle meat off so it's all cut up and rinsed. So I just do a light flour. I'll start to brown off all my meat. I cut my meat up and leave it on the bone. I like to cook the bone in the sauce piquante like this. Just gives you more flavors. So once you got your turtle meat all browned off, brown your smoked sausage in the same olive oil. Alright, now we got our smoked sausage and turtle browned off. I got the olive oil still in the pot. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little bit of roux with this flour that's left over from dredging. Not real dark, just a light brown roux. Alright, I got a nice medium colored roux. Don't want to go too dark on the sauce piquante. So at this point in time, I'm going to put my vegetables in. That'll stop the roux from cooking. Keep it at that stage. I'll stir all these in. This will sweat the vegetables real quick, release all the goodness from the bottom of the pot through the moisture, and soften the veggies. After my vegetables have sweat down a little bit, it took a lot of heat out of the pan, I'll go ahead and put my garlic in. I don't want to put it in early and burn it and give it a bitter taste. Right, and after my garlic, I'll put in about 4 cups of water just to get it started. Here, so this is just my roux, my vegetables. Starting to saute down and simmer in the 4 cups of water, the roux, and all the root vegetables. So that's the basis for my sauce piquante. Bell pepper, celery, onion, jalapeno, garlic, a roux, and the oil that all the meat was browned down in. Alright, so at this point in time, we'll go ahead and put in our canned rotel. Stir that in. I got my whole canned tomatoes. I like to just take a knife and kind of rough chop them in the can. This is a rustic dish, so you want a rustic type feel to it. So my whole canned tomatoes. Then you can take the side of your spoon and chop up the tomatoes a little bit more. I'll put a good 2 tablespoons of tomato paste in there also, just as another thickening agent. Drop in our 2 bay leaves. About a tablespoon of Leon parings. About a tablespoon or so of Louisiana crystal hot sauce. I like crystal, Tabasco, whatever type you like. I'm going to put in about a half a tablespoon of Tony's. About a half a tablespoon of table salt. Crushed black pepper. And then we'll put all of our smoked sausage and turtle meat right into the pot. Alright, I'm going to need a little more water. So here's all of our ingredients in the pot. You can see it's pretty thick, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add about probably another 3 to 4 more cups of water. Snapping turtle sauce piquante, this easy. So what we'll do is we'll let this simmer for probably about 4 hours and then taste it for seasoning and see what we need. And then serve it over rice. Snapping turtle sauce piquante, Louisiana style. At 2.5 hours, here's your gravy, and at this point the meat is fall off the bone tender. So what I do is I strain the meat out and debone it, and then I have just pure turtle meat to put back in. So I'll stir my turtle meat back in, and I'll let it simmer for 1 more hour. Look like I missed the bone there. You're not going to get 100% of the bones out, but you're going to get the majority of them doing this. So right here, beautiful turtle sauce piquante deboned. By letting the meat cook and fall off the bone, you get all that good flavor from the roasted bones and all the collagens in the meat and the connective tissue. So we'll let that go about 1 more hour. So after 4 hours, this is what our sauce piquante looks like. A beautiful, nice gravy full of meat. Tender, tender, tender. Alright, so our sauce piquante's all cooked down. During the last 20 minutes of the cooking, I cooked a little pot of white rice. And this is how we'll serve our sauce piquante. Take a ladle and stir it. Get down in there, get the gravy, turtle meat, and everything right on top. Turtle sauce piquante. There's a nice piece of meat and everything. So you can see after it all cooks down, we got all of our turtle meat, smoked sausage, all of our vegetables, tomatoes, a nice spice sauce. At about 3 hours, I tasted the gravy and adjusted, add a little more salt and a little more seasoning. So snapping turtle sauce piquante. Delicious. I gotta let that cool a little bit before I can eat as much as I want. There's our turtle meat, rice. Get a little vegetables, a little bit of tomato, every bite. Wow, that's good. I'm not a big fan of amphibians and reptiles and all. I'm not real big on alligator, snake, frog legs, but boy, I love some snapping turtle. So if you're riding down the road and you see a snapping turtle getting ready to cross the road, get out, grab him by the tail. He can't bite you when you got him by his tail. And make you some turtle sauce piquante. I tell you what, this is a delicious dish. Very good. C'est bon.